everybody. We have a special guest today. We have Cindy Casady here with us. Say hello, Cindy.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, we're super excited. Cindy and I met at the bariatric retreat of this last year when it was in Florida, I believe. Is that correct?
It was in Orlando at Disney.
Yes, it was, and we kind of just connected and we just talked and talked and talked. We couldn't, neither one of us could stop talking. We just enjoyed the company so much. But I felt like after that event, her and I connected again. And then she started telling me a story. I told her, I said, I would love to have you on as a special guest because she was telling me about all these really, really fun things that she's doing. And she started talking about legacy. And I felt like it just really resonated with me because I feel like it's so important. Like when we leave this world, what kind of things are we going to have left to show other people? And it really just kind of got me to thinking. And I thought, you know what, if it got me to thinking, it probably is going to make other people kind of start thinking. So we're going to be she's going to be sharing about that, about sharing about her legacy, which includes her weight loss surgery, losing nearly 100 pounds, being Miss Georgia World. That's why she's got this beautiful crown on. Miss Georgia World 50s competing for Miss Senior World on November of this year. And also doing some multi-sport competitions, including triathlons and some mud races or some type of mud competitions, which I'm going to let her tell you all about here a little bit more. For those of you who are new to our platform, welcome. We love you being here. These are just basically free educational things and just to help inspire you on your own weight loss journey. Sponsored by ProCare Health, which is known for having a one-a-day multivitamin, first out there and being one of the lowest priced on the market. So we thank them for being our sponsor, thank them for helping bring us together. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brenda, and I actually I'm a nurse. I also had weight loss surgery back in 2013 and had the VSG, and it's been an amazing journey for me as well. Before I worked for ProCare, I worked in a bariatric surgery office where we sold bariatric vitamins out of that office. It was I helped support bariatric patients pre and post-op. I was a coordinator for a program for about 8 years, and they were my favorite vitamin. So I feel like it's a dream job to be here and to be in Cindy's presence. So at that point, I'm just going to kind of turn the microphone over to you, my dear, and allow you to kind of tell us a little bit more about yourself and everything. And Enid, hello, Queen, for you too.
Well, my name is Cindy Casady, and I'm 56 years old. And my journey really started with the weight issues, where a lot of us find ourselves as young teenage girls. And I put on some weight going into my freshman year. And the funny thing is I can still remember what a certain boy said to me in freshman English. He reminded me I'd be pretty if I wasn't fat. And it just started that turmoil with body image. And I didn't realize how it affected me all the way into my adulthood. And so I continued to gain weight. And then I stabilized for years. And the doctors had went back and looked at my blood work. And they could see when my change with my hormones and my weight started. And they were like, you had metabolic syndrome. And so they said it was going to be a fight. And it was, but it still didn't stop me. Like you said, I've always been an athlete. So I got into triathlons. Me and my buddy Deb, we do mud runs together. We just did a Rugged Maniac a couple of months ago. And they're so much fun. And so I didn't allow it to stop me. But what I found is that as my health declined, it got harder to train. And after doing a triathlon, I would feel like death, like I got hit by a Mack truck. And people would congratulate me because I was a big girl and I was doing these things. And I would smile and say, thank you. that nobody realized how bad my body felt when I finished. And so it wasn't until I had my first run in with COVID, before they knew it was COVID, I ended up in the hospital with respiratory issues. And by that time, I was a diabetic. And I thought that night I could die. And I made it through it. And on May 10th of 2020, I realized I weighed 265 pounds. And I had had 6 referrals from the Army for the bariatric, for their what they call Super Tuesday. And I wouldn't go. I would say, I'm an athlete. I can do this. I know I could do this. And I didn't realize that medically I needed intervention. It was beyond willpower. It was beyond working out, because everybody knew I could train. And so once I said, okay, I'll take help. And once I learned the truth about bariatric surgery, it changed everything. And so December 29th of 2021, I had gastric bypass. And since then, I've recovered my health. I'm no longer a diabetic. I no longer have GERDs. My risk for breast cancer has gone down because I'm a high risk for breast cancer. Enlarged spleen, enlarged liver, just all of those fatty things going on. It's reversed. And so once you recover your health, it's easy to chase down those dreams, because you're no longer existing, you're living, and you're living out loud. And so I was accepted to be Miss Georgia World's 50, and I found out at the bariatric retreat. Actually, I opened the email, and so it was like going to Disney before I got to Disney. And it was so exciting. And we met and we talked and we connected. And I found the supplements I needed for my body, which ProCare is providing. And the chews, whether it's the mocktails or the caramels, it's a home run. And I do take the multivitamin 45 with the iron in it. And it keeps me going. And so we met there. And so since then, I've been concentrating on serving my community and coming back to legacy. And I really never thought about legacy until my mom was in the hospital, and she was in the last stage of breast cancer. And one night we're talking, and I go, Mama, what do you want to be remembered for? What's your legacy? And without a hesitation, she's like, I taught the babies to pray. She knew exactly who she was. And I kind of packed it away with my grief. And once I recovered my health and I started as Miss Georgia World's 50, legacy came back, and it came back really strong. And so that's where I started Legacy 414. And it is based off of Esther 414. And I thought it was all about being made for such a time. But what I've learned is at the beginning of that, it talks about not being silent. You have to be bold. And when we want to chase our dreams, we have to be bold. Because if we don't chase our dreams and do the things that are put in our heart, somebody else will do it. And then you're left with a dying dream. And that's not what I want for myself or for the people I care about. I totally believe that each of us have something special inside. And we don't have to be Instagram famous. We don't have to be in magazines, but we can make impact in our family and in our community. And that is an amazing legacy to leave behind.
Oh my gosh. And Enid said, she says, so proud of you, Cindy. And I'm getting goosebumps. It touches my heart. It's so true. Yes. And you know, what's interesting today, I actually was on the phone with somebody that I met at another conference, and she's a coach. She's going to be joining us in February of next year, planning out a little ways. Her name is Laura. And I will tell you, we both feel the same way you do, Cindy. What we were talking about is, sometimes people think that impacting other people's lives, it has to be on like a large scale, meaning, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I had this aha, call it God moment, call it whatever, a few years back when I was coaching, doing some coaching, like life coaching with a young little girl. Actually, we had several kids at the time that I was coaching. They were right around that 11, 12 years old. And 2 of them had anxiety so bad that they weren't able to attend school. They were actually being homeschooled because their anxiety was so high. So I was helping them through the anxiety. And it was kind of a God moment. I'm like, okay, I feel like I should be doing something larger scale. I feel, like my life, I was like reevaluating things. And like the strongest inclination, whether you call God or whatever, this indication came to me that it makes no difference if it's one person or a million, because when you impact one life, one single person, that impacts so many people. Because if you think about a child, let's say take this young girl, like 12-year-old, for example, if you're impacting her behavior and how she sees the world, focuses on the world, perceives it, you definitely impact her parents, because, if she's struggling, they're struggling. I mean, I can tell you, if you have children, you know what I'm talking about. Yes. Impacts their teachers, because if you have a child that's acting out or not well aligned in the classroom, it impacts the whole classroom. You're impacting her friends and the relationships she has with other people, because if she's happy, likely it's kind of like when you're happy, you pass along that happiness to other people. Grandparents, you're impacting the grandparents, especially if they have a huge role in that child's life. So just a little example. So Cindy, I think what you're talking about here is, first of all, when you said your mom's legacy, I want you to repeat that, because it was kind of hard for me to hear, and I want to make sure they hear what your mom's legacy was. And then I want you to repeat what you feel like your legacy is.
My mom's legacy, she said, was she taught the babies to pray. And that was powerful. And she would describe when some of these little ones, because she taught the little 4 and 5-year-olds, and they would just hold their hands and they would just close their eyes and they would pray with everything in them. And it's just, you can just see it. It's that childlike faith.
Was it like Bible school or something, or was it?
It was just, she was Miss Naomi Ruth, and she taught Sunday school. Okay. And in this little country church, and these 2 little kids that touched her heart, their grandparents were raising them, but somebody would stop by and pick them up. And so the little boy wouldn't talk, but by the time he was with my mama, he went from refusing to talk and being behind his sister to praying out loud and loud, So that's the impact that she had. And for me, my impact, I want to keep touching my community, whether it's at church and work in the food pantry and loading bags of food into seniors' cars, because I work the senior section, or if it's the VFW auxiliary, I want to make my impact there, because we have a lot of veterans, and not just from our current wars that we had, Iraq and Afghanistan, but, we still have our Vietnam vets and people from Korea, and they need us. I remind people that just because they came back from the foreign country and their boots hit our U.S. soil, the war's not over, and so I'm so excited to be part of the VFW Auxiliary Post here in Evans, Georgia, where I work on the hospital committee, and whether we're going to visit our veterans in a home, or we're getting to go to the VA, or maybe we're just doing cards. That's awesome. This weekend, I'm going to be at our local post, or having a big trunk or treat, and I get to be one of the judges for the costumes. So those are the fun things. And those are the things that I don't think people realize they can make impact on the community. Showing up once a month to load food into cars is important because you're feeding, you're helping people. That
Cindy,
makes a difference.
I have a question too for you.
Sure.
So when we're talking about, to me, legacy is a little bit like life purpose, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think people go through their whole life kind of searching, like, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Mm-hmm. I think that what purpose somewhat is, at least my current explanation of it, is how other people experience you. Mm-hmm. And, how when they experience you, what is it that they experience and how does that add, value to their life? What would you say if somebody was to ask you, like, when people experience you, what do they experience? Like, what kind of emotions do you think that you leave them with?
Number one, I'm fun. They're going to be laughing. They're going to be smiling. And I'm also a safe place. And I'm glad that people feel safe with me and they'll talk and they'll open up. And then that gives me a chance to give one-on-one attention and truly listen to what this person has to say. A couple months ago, I had the experience of meeting a lady, and she goes, people look at me as the woman who just serves pieces of cake. She goes, but you listen to me. And that touched my heart.
Yeah.
Those are the moments of impact. And I got to talk with her and told her that she had to remember she's a mighty woman of God. I had to remind her that she's out here serving cake in 93-degree weather and she's making people happy, and those are the things I said. And you have dreams. I know you have dreams in you that you have to be bold and step out and get. And her face just dropped. And then she told me what her dream was. And then she called her friend to come down and tell me about her dream. And so those are the moments that I think we don't realize make impact. And those are the legacies. So if she says that time that Miss Georgia Worlds with that big crown showed up and talked to me about my business, that's good. I'll take that. I will take that.
Well, and too, how many people in this world are really present when,
yes.
Like, to me, listening, to be a really, really, really good listener, it's about really being present. And when somebody feels that, they feel like they're being listened to.
Yes.
When you're actually there, not only physically standing there, but your mind is there, your emotions, you're like tuned in. People know, maybe that's part of it too, just being present. And I also want to say too, this whole love, Enid says, preach, Cindy, preach. I also want to say, you have a special love for the military. And tell us about that, and tell us about Blue Eye Mafia, which is your Instagram name, because I'm going to be pulling up your Instagram page here in just a second, because I want to show them some of the fun stuff that you've been doing. So tell me about that.
Well, my husband was in the Army, and when we started dating, he was in the National Guard. Then after we got married, he went active duty. And so we have experienced tons of moves, which is called a PCS. He has gone on trips, which was a TDY, and deployments. Unfortunately, he had to go overseas. And when 9/11 changed our lives, like it did many people. And that day when I turned to him and I'm like, going to war? And he just had that look and he goes, yes. And so with that, your view changes. And then you see our soldiers coming home and they need us. They need their families. They need their community. And they need people who are going to say, you're not forgotten. And so it was his time in downtown Baghdad that our daughters, I have Rachel and Taryn, we got the camera and we started taking silly pictures. And we emailed them to her dad in Baghdad as Blue Eyed Mafia. And that is how Blue Eyed Mafia was born, because all of us have blue eyes. And it was just our little spin late at night and in pictures going to Iraq. And so it stuck. And so I have held on to the Blue Eyed Mafia. And more than once, I've had business people say, you might want to change it. And I'm like, I'm never changing it. It is a precious name. And so the Blue Eyed Mafia is my family.
That's awesome. Let me, I'm going to share here. I'm going to pop on to your Instagram page and I'm going to show some pictures from your Instagram page.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys are going to see me kind of pop. Here we go. So can you see that, Cindy, here where I am? Yes. Okay. So there may be a little delay on Facebook here. So I'm going to actually kind of downsize it. And I'm going to kind of scroll through some of these. And then you tell me to stop when you see a picture you want to talk about.
Well, this top one, the third where I'm giving the thumbs up.
Okay, let's cut
that one right there. That is a bucket list item. For my grandson's birthday, we went to the Columbia Zoo, the Riverbank Zoo, and I vowed probably 5 or 6 years ago that I was going to climb this tower. And they have like beams, ropes, and you have to balance. I did it. I went all the way up and I came all the way down. So it was a total victory. It was so awesome.
Oh, kind of a non-scale moment. Definitely 100% there. Okay. Kind of paging on up.
And then, okay, the page with my sash on with the gentleman.
Okay.
That was me at Dressing Dreams in Hartwell, Georgia. And I bought my pageant dress. And that was an amazing moment. Dalton, I actually got to try on a gown he had designed. And it was an amazing thing, because if you would have told me 15 months ago that I would be in a boutique trying on pageant gowns, I would have asked if you were feverish, because it was so far out of the realm of thinking for me. And so that was an amazing time to know that I actually went to a boutique and got a pageant gown. Big moment. Big moment.
I love it. We can't see the dress till you're ready. Oh, this one here. We got to show this after picture.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That picture, the first picture, was actually Thanksgiving. We took a picture out in the front yard, and I was like, oh my, and then the second picture, I bought a dress and I tried it on and I was like, oh my goodness, is that really me? And more than once, I'll still ask my husband, do I really look like that? And he's like, yeah, you really look like that. And so when I look at those dresses, I do see the size difference, but more than anything, I see the health difference. The first picture, diabetes, GERDs, I have respiratory issues. I was sick and my body hurt so bad with inflammation too. And then I look at the second picture and I was like, yeah, girl, you're not, you don't have those diseases now. Just take them out, And so that's exciting when I see it, because I can see the weight difference, but more than that, I see the health difference. And I also see the difference in confidence.
Oh, you can just, when you look at a picture, you can actually see the difference in confidence from both places.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, and it was amazing. This young lady, Zoe, she helped me with my pageant gown, finding it. And never once during that appointment was I like, oh my gosh, you look so this or that. I was trying these gowns on with confidence. I was thinking, dang, the last time I tried on a dress, I was a size 24. So yeah, it's cool. And then the one where I'm crossing my legs, that's exciting.
We'll have to go to that one. Here we have one with you crossing your legs here, right here.
Yeah. That, I was like, I crossed my legs and I thought, girl, when was the last time you crossed your legs? So,
Small
those are the
victories,
things.
huh?
Those are awesome. And
Oh, here's
then
a picture.
a triathlon. Yeah. Okay. That first picture was at the Pineapple Man. I think it was 2018. And that's where I tore my right meniscus during the race. And I finished the race and I was so excited. And I was so grateful because my weight had really gotten high. And it's hard to find these triathlon kits when you're bigger. And luckily, Serena, she had larger sizes and she got me dressed for this event and it meant everything. And I had a really cute kit. And then this picture, I bought it from the Tri Augusta Club here in Georgia and I couldn't wear it. And it's hung in they don't even make this kit anymore. And it's hid in my closet for years and years. And now I'm wearing it. And so, yeah, I'm pretty proud of both girls. I'm proud of that first girl that no matter the size, she was out there doing it.
That's what it's all about. How about the dress here? Anything you want to say about this dress? Because that looks like a dress.
I tried it. I wore it for a fashion show. I was at the Southeastern Expo in Columbia, South Carolina, and I was chosen to be one of the models, which was awesome. So I got to try on, and this was one of the gowns I modeled.
Oh, it's so pretty, Cindy. I think pink is your color. You definitely are. You look really pretty in pink and really red too. I noticed you have a lot of red on. Must be all those tones.
Yes, and then this face-to-face Friday picture. This one, I was sick. I mean, in the first picture, I really was struggling physically and mentally because I could not even recognize myself in the mirror anymore. And then the second picture, I feel good. And it's amazing. You can even look at my eyes. And there's just a difference in the life in my eyes. So the first picture I would call existing. The second picture I would call living.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
It definitely is.
You got to stop at the polka dot dress. We got to go there.
Right here?
That way. Well,
that's really pretty too.
That one I saw and I posted years ago that I wanted to buy this dress. And I actually bought it and I couldn't get it over my hips before surgery. And now I can wear it,
Oh, but that's definitely a moment. Right here?
Yeah. No, well, that one, isn't that crazy? A year apart. I mean, the first picture
doesn't even look like the same person, Cindy.
I know. I mean, I just came out of COVID number 2. I had the Delta and I was on prednisone and everything. And my friend and I went to this beetle experience thing. And we took pictures with the little bug out front. And then the second picture was when I attended the state GLT training for the VFW. And when I saw myself, I was like, wow, but once again, it goes back to, you see the size difference, but you just see the confidence and the health difference.
Yeah.
And so let's see, let's go down. Oh, look at me in the mud. Right there in the middle. I'm under bobble.
Okay.
Yes. That is from the Rugged Maniac that my friend Deb and I did a couple of months ago. And on the course, we talked more than once. I was doing obstacles that I never could do. I mean, just because I didn't have the strength, I was super heavy, and I just could not get myself over stuff. And this time I was climbing stuff. I was in mud, going under barbed wire. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, I bet you got done, and I bet it was mud from head to toe. Look the way that one looks
Yeah,
there.
it was so much fun. I love these things.
I'm gonna pop
And
off here too, and I'm gonna show. We were talking about the Miss Senior World. I want to make sure we have plenty of time to talk about that. So actually, here, let's go to the website, Miss Senior World. It's under seniorworldpageants.com. Okay. And Cindy, I'm going to kind of scroll down. So this is the pageant. So we kind of jumped a little bit from the sports athletic stuff to your Miss Senior World competition. And I'm going to kind of scroll down.
Yes, I'm so excited. And the most amazing thing is this is my first pageant ever. I never imagined I would ever do a pageant. And now that I've gotten into it and I'm Miss Senior World, well, Miss Georgia World's 50, competing at Miss Senior Worlds in a couple of weeks, I understand what Miss Sherry says when she says crown to serve. And when you're crowned to serve, it's more than just putting it on your head. You know, you are going out there and you're using this crown for the benefit of your community. And when I'm able to do something as simple as passing out candy at the trunk or treat, and I'm getting these big hugs from little ones and they're telling me stuff, that's amazing.
And I'm curious too. So if there's somebody out there that may be interested in participating next year for this, what does it take? Do you get on their website? Do you have to apply?
Well, you have to apply for Miss Senior Worlds for your age group, and they are going to go through your application, and you'll find out if they choose you to be their representative, which I found out, you know, at the bariatric retreat. I opened that email and I was like, we were at dinner and I just lost it at the table, you know. So it's been an amazing, amazing experience.
So they only pick one candidate per state, is what I'm imagining.
Well, the right now, if you'll notice, like for Alabama, they have the Alabama title, and then they will break into like regions or Alabama hospitality, which my friend Shannon is, and it's just it is an amazing tool. If you want to know who you are and you think you really know who you are, jump into a pageant because you will find out even more about yourself. And this has been an amazing journey.
I'm going to page on down, and then I want to show them if anybody's out there wants to support Cindy, we would love to help support her in as many ways as possible. At the very top of the screen, right up here where it says vote, can you guys see that where I'm hovering over it, my little hand motion here where it says vote. If you press that, it will bring up Cindy's the ability to vote for Cindy. And so you can it is monetary. So for each vote is it $5 per vote?
It's $5 a vote.
Okay. So basically you just press that button and basically it'll allow you to check out for however many votes. So how does the votes help you in your competition?
Well, the votes for the person who gets the most votes for People's Choice, they automatically go to the finals. And not everybody makes it to the finals. So it's a pretty big deal, you know. So every vote matters, you know. So it's great. And it's for a great cause because it is to buy Bibles for third world nations and for prison ministry. So they have a good cause.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. I'm going to actually stop sharing here for a second. I'm going to copy that link so that they have it, Cindy, and they can be able to go directly there. So I'm going to paste it in. It says send us a link. So I'll just put to vote for Cindy. Go to link and vote at the top of the screen.
And I appreciate all of the support.
So I'm going to paste that, and I'll put it on Facebook here too as well. So Cindy, tell us too about going forward. Like, what would you say going forward? Like, what is your goals this year, next year, the following years to create what you were talking about when we were talking about legacy?
With me and legacy, I have some past. I am definitely working on my first book, Creating Legacy, and I'm actively working, and I have spoken with a publisher who will keep reaching out to me and go every closer. So the goal is to finish it by the end of the year, turn it in, and if they accept it, then the fall of 2023, my book will be coming out. So that is really exciting.
So tell us what this book is about. Like, what are you wanting to?
Well, I'm focusing, this first book is really focusing on creating legacy and the wisdom in Esther 4:14. I mean, the one thing, if you put Esther 4:14 in, you're going to see a lot of, I was born for such a time. You're here for this moment. But what I take, and to me, that's like the good gravy. But the big mashed potatoes up there is talking about not being silent and being, you have to be bold to go after these dreams. People who are silent aren't the ones that are living it out loud and making it come true. So for me, I had to step out, and stepping out is becoming Miss Georgia World's 50. Being bold is stepping out and going into something I don't know. So that's exciting. And I want other women to realize this power within us. I hear so many people, and I was one of them. I dream of doing this, but, and that word, but. So let's replace it with a different B word. Let's be bold. I'm dreaming. I'm going to put this action, and I'm going to be bold. Because, see, we don't want to end our lives with regret and say, I wish I just would have stepped out and been bold. We have our time. I don't care how old you are. I remember seeing an 82-year-old woman at the Duathlon Nationals finishing her race. She wanted to do it, and she did it. And that's bold. So, yes, we have to start being bold, and we have to do the action and put the work.
I think you're talking to hearts today. I mean, I think that other people, that's going to resonate with them. It did with me. Enid says she posted.
Yes, that's exactly it.
14.
That is it. And Enid, you're right, because when I talk about being bold and being silent, if you take our dreams and you replace that one part about the deliverance of the Jews, somebody else would have been the one, not Esther. For us, if we want to have those dreams that were placed inside of us, we have to be bold. And if we stay silent and we don't do it, somebody else will. And that's why I love Esther 4:14.
Yes.
I can see we have to be bold. And if we stay silent, that is where the regret is going to come.
Yeah. I says this community has helped me be bold. I think, coming from a standpoint of really wanting to be there for other people and wanting to serve other people, you can't do that being like, not really being like, if you're not yourself and you're just kind of standing in the background all the time, it's really hard to be able to serve in those powerful ways to help other people. sometimes it takes us getting out of our comfort zone a little bit, and that can be kind of hard. Um,
It is hard. And I know from my own experience, I've always had that happy go lucky personality and I always smiled. But a lot of times I just didn't feel worthy for everybody to want to help me, for people want to help me get to the next level. And the thing is you can have the best people surround you, lifting you up. But if you don't believe it, and you don't believe that you're being placed for such a time, it's going to die. Doesn't matter who believes in you if you don't believe. So that's part of being bold, is saying, yes, I can do this. Yes, I deserve a seat at this table. Yes, I deserve to be able to walk through this door. Here I am. And those are the times that things start changing, is when you become bold and you're no longer silent and you totally believed you were made for such a time. That's when you make impact. That's your legacy.
You're making it today, Cindy. Thank you for sharing that with all of us and reminding us that, because it is so important. And I feel like to close this, I want to ask you a question. So at the end of these, we always usually try to share a little bit about you, about our sponsor, how they can kind of get in touch with you. Like if somebody has a question or maybe they want to talk or something like that, what's the best way to get in touch with you? Would you say it's Instagram?
You could do Instagram. You can email me at cynthia@legacy414.com.
Okay.
Just reach out to me, because I love talking to people, and I've been blessed that I have shared my journey about having bariatric surgery. I've been very open, and it's not always the easiest journey to share. You have great supporters, but then you also have people who aren't so nice. And when they leave those comments, you got to laugh. I mean, you really do. Because you have to tell yourself, if they were standing in front of me, you know they would never say what they just wrote on my page. You know?
Tell us something recently. You said somebody mentioned or said something, and it was just like you had to laugh. I know you told me.
I had one of the pictures, and I did talk. I do have loose skin, and mentally you have to work to overcome that, but you just keep on doing what you're doing. And I had somebody put, once you finish losing weight and you have that weight loss surgery, you have that skin removal surgery, maybe you'll be normal. And I laughed. And I mean, I literally just put the laugh emojis. I mean, the old Cindy, it would have crushed me. It really would have. Now I'm just like, come on, is that all you got? And I have wonderful friends, and one of my friends lit them up hilariously. But you have to, when you're bold and you're public and you're sharing your story, I've gotten more amazing people privately messaging me, asking me questions, and then I get to watch them take control of their health and their life. And they have surgery, and then they're living out loud. It doesn't get any better. Who cares if some, person does something horrible to me? I don't care, because at the end of the day, it comes back to the people that you impact, and they can type back to you, thank you for talking to me, telling me the truth, because it's changed my life. It doesn't get better than that. And so, and on the days that you see that loose skin and you're like, ugh, you got to show yourself some grace and some kindness, just like you show everybody else that you're talking with. And so, and I just want to say thank you to ProCare. And I'm so glad I met you at the bariatric retreat, because it has become part of my daily life. And you don't realize how important supplements are until you're on this side of surgery. And, to know that I could sit there and eat my caramels or my mocktails because I have to. Yes.
I know they're not too bad. So that kind of gives us, we're going to talk just a second about our sponsor, because I always try to bring it in a little bit, because they're helping us with keeping these events alive. So Cindy actually loved our product so much she became an affiliate, which means that she shares information about affiliates. Enid says, "Yummy, those are my candies." Yeah, they kind of are. I mean, they are kind of sweet, and I mean, So Cindy was talking about the mocktails, and what other were you talking about? I'm sorry.
I also use the Bariatric multivitamin 45s. I have the mocktails, which are so good, and the caramels.
This right here, and the caramels. Yes. The caramels are one of my favorites too. I'm gonna pull that over here, so we're gonna try that. And so let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. So today I have a little infographic I'm going to share here. Yes. Give me one tiny second. And I'm going to go to my pictures here at the bottom of my screen.
And I also like using the chocolate protein powder, and I put it in my Greek yogurt.
So this is that. If you guys can see here. So I'm wanting a quick source of protein for on-the-go workouts. And I felt like this was a perfect little question to ask for you. So would you use this, the protein, would you use this as a pre-workout supplement? Or
yeah, I mean, especially after a heavy training or coming off the bike and I need to fuel afterwards, I would definitely have me 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt with a scoop of the protein powder chocolate. Yeah, we love some chocolate, and I'm getting totally a protein bomb out of it.
Do you mix any liquid with it, or do you just
not with
just the yogurt?
I do 3/4 cup of the Greek yogurt and 1 scoop of the protein powder, the chocolate, and I just mix it, and it becomes kind of like a pudding.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's like a pudding. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, here's one other little thing of protein source. So, have you heard of our Liquicell? We used to bring it to all of our like when we would go out and do vendor fairs and stuff. We did not have it at the last one that you were at, but Liquicell is a product that is 16 grams of protein with 2.5 grams of arginine and 100% USA collagen, which a lot of people are looking for, keep their skin young and healthy. Mm-hmm. Flexible. I don't know if you've heard of this. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I'm going to pop on to the ProCare website. I'm bringing it up because I think a lot of people probably don't even know that we sell it. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Let me pop on here real quick, and
I will have to try it.
ProCare website. Yeah. It's, see here, Liquicell.
The mocktails. Yeah, the mocktails are like Starburst.
They are pretty good. The Liquicell liquid protein. So if you go to the ProCare website, when you get to ProCare, I'll kind of just show everybody how to get to this product. So if you go to ProCare, this is the home page that you're going to see. And right up here, this first button, products under proteins. And it is right here, liquid proteins.
Okay.
And it is, you can buy them by the single serve, or you can buy like a bottle serving. Kind of show you the difference, what they look like. A single serve is $1.43, or you can buy in packages of 5, 25, 50, or you can buy it in the bottle, a 32-ounce bottle.
I'll have to try this. I'll have to try those packets and try those for fueling when I'm doing training for triathlons.
It actually is super fast. And so for me, I like just taking them as a straight shot, like a little shooter, but
Mhm.
you can, some people like mixing them with like some kind of liquid, like lemonade or, like sugar-free. There's so many different
Mhm.
sugar-free drinks out there. Or so here's some other favorite ways to use. Mix it in a bottle of water, mix it in tea,
Uh-huh.
make Jello with it, drizzle it over ice chips for a snow cone effect. Mix it with yogurt or oatmeal to provide extra flavor. Mix with vanilla protein shake for dreamsicle type flavors. Mix with flavored ice cubes. So you can make like little frozen cubes kind of thing. Or we've
Yeah.
also heard people mix it into a salad dressing, like the orange flavor, maybe to make like a orange vinaigrette dressing. Just some
Ooh, that's creative.
fun little items. And also while I'm here on the website, I'm also just going to mention, guys, if you are wanting to try ProCare, you've not tried it before, you can actually ask for a free sample. And typically, I think we're still including Liquicell in there, but you can also put it here at the bottom in your message. You can ask for a Liquicell sample along with
Oh, that's
your
awesome.
whatever they send you. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing there. So for closers, Cindy, what would you like for us to remember about today?
I hope I inspired you to think about your own legacy and your own impact. And I hope that you remember how worthy you are, how special you are, and that no performance makes you worthy. So many times it's easy to think about if we do this or if we do that. And we just are. We just are worthy. And so once we learn our own self value, it changes everything. And I really, really, ladies, want you to get beyond existing. I want you living out loud. I want you making an impact in your family, an impact in your community.
Yeah. Thank you, Cindy. Those are words to live by. Touches my heart. Well,
It's been
we're
an
gonna
honor to spend time with you. I appreciate it. I really do.
you too, Cindy. Thank you so much. And so we're gonna sign off. I want to wave to everybody.
Bye.
Give your pageant wave. I want to see your pageant wave.
I haven't really practiced it, so hopefully that's my Queen Elizabeth. But be watching for my post. I will be headed to Biloxi, Mississippi for Pageant Week, November 7th. Semis is November 11th, and finals is November 12th.
Oh, thank you so much. Allie on Facebook says, thank you. She says thank you. So she's listening. She's been listening here the whole way through. So thank you again.
I
And
appreciate it.
we'll give the little
Bye.
wave there.